The Exorcist, a tale of darkness and faith. Let me tell you a story. A story of a quiet house, an innocent girl, and a terror that came not from outside but from something far more sinister. In the peaceful Georgetown neighborhood of Washington, D.C., there lived a young actress named Chris McNeil. She was working on a film, living in a large house with her 12-year-old daughter, Regan. Regan was a sweet, curious child, full of laughter, mischief, and dreams. But that was before the voice. Before the bed shook. Before the screaming started. It began subtly, as evil always does. Strange noises in the attic. A tapping. A rustling. The kind of thing you'd blame on rats or the wind. But Chris knew better. Then Regan started to change. Her cheerful demeanor faded. She became withdrawn, sullen. Her drawings turned dark. And then, the incidents. Doctors came and went. They said it was nerves, trauma, maybe a neurological disorder. They strapped her to machines, ran tests, poked and prodded. But science had no answer for what Regan had become. She spoke in languages she never learned. She hurled obscenities with venom no child should know. Her body twisted and arched unnaturally, and her bed lifted from the floor. Something else was in her now, something that mocked the holy and delighted in suffering. Desperate, Chris turned to Father Damien Carras, a Jesuit priest who was losing his faith. A psychologist by training, he too doubted at first. But once he saw Regan, saw the fury behind her eyes, heard her speak in voices and secrets she couldn't possibly know, he understood. This was no illness. This was possession. Carras sought the church's approval, and they called in a man who had faced this evil before, Father Merrin, an elderly exorcist with weary eyes and a heart forged in prayer. Together, the two priests entered the room that had become a battleground of good and evil. And so, the exorcism began. It was a war. The demon, calling itself Pazuzu, lashed out with fury. The air turned ice cold. Objects flew. Regan shrieked, laughed, cursed, taunted. The priests read the rites, over and over, their voices trembling yet firm. Father Merrin, old and frail, bore the brunt of the spiritual assault. And one morning, after a long night of battle, Carras found him slumped over, lifeless. The demon had claimed him. Fueled by rage and sorrow, Carras made a desperate choice. He grabbed the girl, shouted at the demon to come into him, and it did. For a moment, you could see it, the demon behind Carras's eyes. But before it could claim him fully, the priest hurled himself out the window, down the steep steps beside the house, and into death. The demon was gone. Regan was free. She awoke with no memory of what had happened, only scars on her skin, and in her soul. Chris took her far away from that place, grateful, broken, but alive. And so ends the tale of the Exorcist, a chilling reminder that evil does exist, but so does courage, sacrifice, and faith.